From what I understand, you spoke to Kevin Samuels numerous times, and he acknowledged your work as being an inspiration for his views about relationships in our community, right? Did you agree with Kevin Samuels' approach?
No, I didn't agree with Kevin Samuels. He agreed with me, and he was always so respectful to me. And we were getting ready to do something though. We were going to do a big thing in Atlanta, and then he went and died. So I guess that wasn't supposed to happen.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? It's your boy Jay Larone with Jay Larone Presents. Again, we talking about more of the facts, foolishness, and black female fuckery, right? Now, as you guys saw earlier, the little clip I just showed you, we're going to talk about the interview that Shahrazad Ali had with this podcast. The name of it is I Never Knew TV. And, she was asked some questions and then the subject of Kevin Samuels came about, right? And there's been some YouTubers commenting on, this interview, right? I first saw a video, MTR did one, I think it was on Saturday. Who else did one? O'Shea Duke Jackson did a video, and I think there was another brother that did one. I can't think of who it was. Bernard Riley. Bernard Riley did a video on it yesterday as well. And RBN from Real Bravado Network. So I've seen those, at least at least three people, 3 or 4 people do an interview on this or do a video on this interview, right? And it's like we're all saying the same thing, right? It's like Shahrazad Ali threw Kevin Samuels. Either she threw shade. I mean, disrespected him. You know what I'm saying? She did disrespect him by laughing about him being deceased, right? Talking about he just up and died and laughed about it. But this isn't the first time, right? There's been a couple of other interviews where Sister Ali talked about Kevin Samuels and laughed. I don't, some people say it's a coping mechanism. It could be, for some people, but it's been a year and a half, right? But the fact that she laughed and then the other things she said about Kevin, it was kind of like she was throwing a little bit of shade, you know what I mean, on him as well. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you could go back and say, well, was her laughing at Kevin a coping mechanism, or does she really feel some type of way about Kevin and his success, right? Because Kevin modeled a lot of his stuff off of Shahrazad Ali, right? The stuff that he talked about was, what men have been talking about for years, right? And he gave shout out to Shahrazad Ali, for her books and everything that she's done as an ally to the black man, right? And for her to come back and kind of like come back and basically I'm just gonna, it is what it is. She threw shade at it, you know what I'm saying? She threw shade, and it's kind of like, I don't know if it's jealousy or envy, you know what I mean? Because she's still selling books, and as of Kevin talking about Shahrazad Ali, bringing light to her, I think her book sales got a rejuvenation, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people who grew up in the 90s, a lot of them didn't really know about Shahrazad Ali until Kevin started talking about her, right? Or a lot of people had, kind of brushed off to the side because nobody's heard from her in so long, right? So when Kevin started talking about her and bringing up her book, that gave her a little bit more energy. That's just my opinion, right? So for her to say the things she said, you know what I mean? To me, it's coming from a place of, it seems to be envy or jealousy, you know what I'm saying? Because, how his light was shining, and then, but like I said, she took off about 20 some almost 30 years. Nobody heard from her, and now she's back. But it seems like she's back, and she's not really, how can I say it? She's not really, being, I want to say, a little humble. You know what I'm saying? She's not really, giving Kevin his praise for doing what he's done. She kind of give him some praise, but then she throw a little shade on top of it. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like fully saying, "Oh yeah, I'm so proud of Kevin. He did good, and he, recognized me and the stuff that I did." You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. It was kind of like, well, yeah, but also, she threw a little shade on top of it. So I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and listen to this interview, and at the end, just tell me what you think. Drop some comments down below. If you haven't already, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. And we're going to go ahead and finish up with the rest of this interview, okay? And again, fair use, fair use.
Going to do a big thing in Atlanta. And then he went and died. So I guess that wasn't supposed to happen. But, Kevin, the book woke him up, and it gave him the courage to discuss and address these things, since I had did it and had put out the blueprint. And so he was a bit crude. I had told him I didn't think he would be successful because of how he was going about it. But he told it the way he saw it, and he was not successful. He was successful in his platform, getting hundreds of thousands of people, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 people were tuning in to hear him and his comments. But I don't know. I'm sure it benefited some of the women because it put us in check about what we think our overrated value is.
Okay, and I'm going to stop it right here. When she talked about he wasn't successful, or, how do you measure success, right? What is she measuring the success by, right? Because Kevin and his platform, because she was saying he wasn't successful, then she said he was successful. So Kevin, what does she call successful? Because of course he made a lot of money. Of course he reached a lot of people. He also was responsible for a lot of people getting married, right? He had I think the Facebook group, The Mix, is still going, and it's people from that group that are, had success in their relationships. People got married. People rekindle relationships. People, relationships that were going bad turned good. So in all, you can say, I think, from depending on what Kevin's overall, thing was, what he was trying to accomplish, I think Kevin was a success in what he was trying to accomplish, because his thing was he was wanting black people to marry black people, right? It was all about relationships. So in a sense, you could say he was successful. He achieved an amount of success before his life ended. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why she would say that he was successful. Well, he wasn't, then he was. But all in all, I think Kevin, his overall message and everything was a success. All right, let's get back to it.
Yes. Okay, and we think we have a greater value because we think that we are in charge of sex. Okay, and most men will just about do anything or go along with anything if they think that. Well, that's changing. Okay, that is not all completely the way it was. This is the thing I wanted to mention, and I don't usually talk about this. When I say that we're living in trends, the messenger talked about when we get out of control, too savage, that we live in a beast life. Okay. Our younger people, that children of the future there, are living somewhat of a beast life. Because the new trend now, and I only know about this because they put it out there in the public on the Instagram and the internet and on the Facebook and everything. One of the things that scientists say separates the humans from the animals is that humans mate face to face. Animals mate from the rear. Well, it's popular now that that's what they're all doing, mating from the rear and doing all kind of.
And I'm gonna stop it again because right here when she started talking about animals mating, he didn't. It's like I think she tried to deflect and move the conversation on to something else because he never talked about that, right? He didn't talk about that. He was asking her about Kevin, and then she went on into this talk about animals mating and stuff like that, which, like I said, that wasn't part of the question that he asked. So I think that there was a little bit of deflection on that part.
Other distasteful things and calling it sex. That's a bad sign. Okay. There's a different connection, as we all know, of face-to-face than another kind of way. People are getting hurt. They're choking each other. They're spitting in each other's mouth, doing all kind of things that would never, ever have been considered as sexual pleasure. There's something wrong in that. I don't know how long they're gonna be practicing that, and they're even doing oral sex in people's anus and their behinds, all kind of stuff, crazy stuff. And I'm talking about it because we need to know, and we need to start trying to teach something differently. Okay, that's not no love. That's not no showing of love. That's something crazy. And the girls are accepting it. The young women are being choked, or somebody spitting in their mouth. All kind of insanity things, and they calling it sex. That ain't no sex. I don't know what kind of beast life that is, but that's another trend that I hope passes, because that's taking it to such a low level. Where can it go after that? And how long then will generations think that that's affection? So that's a very bad sign, I think. And that the young women think that that's natural, as I said, that they going along with this, and that the men are tiring really of them at all. They don't even want to look at them. And I'm concerned about that, and I think we all should be.
I just wanted to touch on the Kevin Samuels thing one more time. Do you believe he helped bring interest in?
And good job for this brother who's asking the questions. He brought it back because she went off on a tangent, like I was saying. She went off on this mating and animalistic mating and stuff like this, which that wasn't the question. Like I said, there was a little bit of deflection right there, but the brother who's asking the question, he's bringing her back, right?
Into your works with a new generation?
No, I don't think so. I think it just, it was so personally, individually critical. I don't think that ever helps. I think you have to be civilized in your asking and telling. And I don't think that that kind of overly critical criticism of an individual, each person individually, no, that does not help, especially publicly. As I said, we already got low self-esteem. And that don't mean build us up on some false bravado. I don't mean that. But I mean, we just have to be more gentle with each other. We are damaged creatures.
Let me reword it. I apologize. I wanted to ask, do you think his work brought more attention to your book with a new generation, with a younger generation that probably didn't know about
I'm
your
not
work?
sure. See, the other thing is, remember, we're in a society where they're teaching against reading. All right, everybody either wants.
Okay, you hear that? Now, the question was, did he bring more attention to your book? Which is a definite yes. Kevin did bring more attention to her book, right? Now, whether or not you can say that, society doesn't, or black folks or black children or whatever don't read a lot, you can make that argument. But the thing is, he did bring more attention to her book.
To hear it or see it. So reading is not as popular. So I'm not sure if it worked that way. My sales have been impacted on a lot of things. That must be 50 books out called The Black Man's Guide and The Black Woman's Guide. So many people have copied, my title. So I'm not sure it worked that way. I'm still selling books, and he's still, I'm sure, there's still brothers out there now trying to take his place. So that's just, the way that turned out. He got me, I think, more attention toward me as a writer, as a sister, But I know my place in the world, and I am just a woman. That's not an insult. That's not a put down, but I am not a man. See, God is a man.
See, now right here, she's gonna now she's gonna start trying to, I guess, sounds kind of like right here she's gonna placate to, man is God, man is everything, and I'm just a woman, right? But like I said, after she after she threw shade on Kevin, and was saying that he didn't do anything to help her book sales. That's basically what she was saying, that he didn't do anything to help her book sales, that she's still selling books and he's gone, and other people are trying to pick up the mantle of Kevin Samuels. But now she's trying to, again, she's deflecting and going into a rant on something else about men are God, and she's just a lonely woman, and she's not here to take the place of a man, and all that yada yada. But just keep listening to what she's saying.
You represent God, and I tell black women, the closest you may ever get to God is being with a black man, because he looks more like you than me. And we have so many things out here affecting our respect and image of self. That's the other reason black women don't want to believe that the black man is God, because they think the black man they know ain't nothing, and that y'all ain't nothing, so there ain't no way you could be God. In fact, you have some brothers who have surrendered, and they walking around talking about the black woman as God. Some more absurd, silly nonsense that we waste our time on.
When did that start, this notion that the black woman was God?
Well, they just have surrendered. It can't be me, because I can't do nothing. I ain't got nothing and look like she more successful or whatever. And so we just decide then she must be God. That's what a man do. I don't know no man that would decide that. And I try to correct every brother I run into about that. They think they complimenting me by saying the black woman is God. But I'm not God, and I don't want that job. Okay, I got enough to do. I don't want that responsibility, and I don't have that power.
I wanted to touch on, before we get to the last two questions, I want to touch on something you said where you said black women, they don't see much in black men, right? Mm-hmm. And from personal experience, what I noticed that even if you're, I don't know these terms they use, highly performing, even if you're just a great guy, right? Mm-hmm. They still can't see the greatness in you.
They still what?
They still struggle to see the greatness in you if you're a great person.
Well, as I said, we've been all taught against each other so hard. We have to talk more. Now, that's one thing Kevin did. He got more black men speaking out about their dissatisfaction. Well, dissatisfaction produced change. One of the changes has been more of our men are going offshore seeking other women who they say know how to act more like a woman. All right? It's like we'll tell a man, everything you do, why don't you act like a man? When you all have never challenged our womanhood, you all have never told us, why don't you act like a woman? It's not in you. But we'll tell you real quick, why don't you act like a man? Well, how do we know what a man act like? Most of us didn't have a father. We didn't have a model. We only saw fathers on television and in movies. And they gave us certain ideas that white people have that they themselves don't live up to. Okay? Their fatherhood is built on them being able to provide. And they kept you from being able to do that so that you could not have that. And that's another reason I say that we have to teach our men how to be fathers, how to deal with babies, how to change a diaper, how to do all of those things. You made that. That's your idea. So you need to be a part of how it's going to be reared and how to handle it. Many of our brothers now ending up with their children because many of our women, sometimes they have them and then after 5 or 6 years, they decide, I don't want to be no parent no more. And so they giving the child away to the father. And then sometimes the fathers are trying to get their children and you all have a very difficult time because the enemy don't want you to be able to do that, be involved with that, because they are so used to pretending that they're on our side. They're not on our side. The white woman is not on our side because we also think that she's nicer, it's better to deal with her. That's his mother. She's not on our side.
I was gonna ask.
That's his mama.
There is the idea floating around, guys. I know interracial dating for numerous reasons. So I'm not saying every black man with a white woman has views the white woman as superior. I don't want to say that. I don't know if that's the case, so I won't say that publicly, right? But there is an idea circulating that white women are nicer than black women.
Well, they are, because they haven't gone through what we have. They don't have the history we have. Why shouldn't she be nice? I remember one time I was in New Orleans doing a program, and we came out of this.
Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much it. She's going to go into some more stuff, but that's pretty much it from what they were talking about with Kevin. But yeah, so like I said, man, to me, it was not a lot of praise, right? Especially considering Kevin gave a lot of praise to Sister Ali, right? And what we find in these spaces, man, is that a lot of women, a lot of black women will, they'll throw digs at you, right? Even though you might hold them on a high regard, they will still, think lesser of you as a man, right? And it's like that in relationships. Men put women up on these pedestals, praising them and like I said, worshiping them and treating them right. And in the end, what do they do? What do these women do in the end? In the end, they think less of you as a man, right? It's like with Papoose and Remy Ma. He held her down while she was in prison, married her, and held her in high regards. And what did she do? She went out and cheated on him, right? And it's just like in this scenario with Sister Ali and Kevin. Kevin always praised Sister Ali. He always praised her, right? Praised her book, praised everything she talked about, and what did she do? Right? Instead of returning the same favor, she you know what I'm saying? She really kind of talked down on him. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on it. That's what I see. You know what I'm saying? And I think, a few other brothers in the space have shared the same sentiment. But you guys, let me know what y'all think. Comments down below. Please be good to yourself. And by all means, let's be good to one another. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, oh. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, oh. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe we can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?